Okay, give me just a second to poke at a couple of things. Alrighty, that looks like that's registering. Okay. Yeah, my mic was being weird. Don't mind me. So, I don't like what I saw last time I streamed. And hopefully I don't have the same kind of problems this time when I stream. Um, some of the behavior that I see from people is a little bit baffling to me. And, it's especially frustrating at a time of like a whole hell of a lot of stress, however positive I feel about the situation with my health. I am just as determined as I was the last time. I'm going to fight and I'm going to win this. So this isn't a pit, people are going around saying I'm playing it for sympathy. I'm not. The reason I'm even letting any of you know any of this is there are actually people, it might surprise you, that do care, honestly, what's going on with me, and I want to keep those people updated. Now, I've got it set up right now where you have to be a member for a certain amount of time before you can start posting in my live chat. That's number one. That's not going to change. I've decided that that's a permanent thing. I gave it a try, and my reward, without any restrictions on it, my reward for that was to have somebody come in and say, "You're going to look like a thumb when you lose all your hair." I don't want to look at that shit. I mean, it's sort of annoying at worst, but right now I need to not focus on things that annoy me. What I need to focus on is things that are positive, that are empowering, because right now I need all the power I can gather up. So that's one thing. Another thing, again, if I was using this to grift, I would be asking for a hell of a lot more money. I know I put my payment details in the comments of each of these cancer threads, streams, thingies. Why did I say threads? Probably because I was reading something a little while ago. Um, I put my payment details in case somebody really does want to help me buy a goddamn pair of pajamas or help me get, the cat food that my cats need, just little shit like that. Because again, I want to focus on stuff, that's related to this little fight that I'm in with this stupid little supposed to be butterfly shape but isn't anymore gland in my neck that's going to get removed. So yeah. Yeah. Um, oh God, I'm going too much. I had a really crappy day today. It's just like cancer's a real pain in the fucking ass, dude. Pardon me messing with my mic a little. It's just like this constant stream of phone calls and no, this isn't the place you need to call. You need to call this place. And oh, by the way, you need to do these 4 things and you don't have very much time to do those 4 things in. It's really taxing. It's really frustrating. And anybody that's ever dealt with something serious health related that does also require scheduling probably knows what I'm talking about. So that was the day I had today. And I'm still kind of hacked off about some of the things that happened. So there was that. Um, let's see, what else do I want to, there's an interesting thing. As you guys know, Fredo, my bestie, the person that married me to my husband, the officiant at my wedding, friend for like 16 frickin' years. He passed down to me a little piece of Masonic wisdom. It's an aphorism that they use, and it kind of goes like this: never look down on anyone unless you are giving them a hand up. And I'm not necessarily even talking about me. I'm not begging and pleading for you to donate. If you don't want to, then don't. If you don't approve of it, that's fine. I'm not going to start bleeding just because you don't like something I'm doing. But for fuck's sake, don't come in here and effectively wish death and the pain of chemotherapy on me. Because if I was in chemotherapy, I mean, I don't know if anybody's actually done the research on it, but if I was in chemotherapy, I would be damn sick. I would be dealing with something that's metastasized to, like, at the very least, a lymph node if I was having to be in chemotherapy for thyroid cancer. Again, it stays in the thyroid. And it's only once it busts out of the thyroid that you start looking at, okay, well, what do we do for something that's metastatic? And, it's why would you wish chemo on anyone? That says a fuck of a lot more about you than it does about me. Hey, bum number one, how's it going? And I'm debating busting open my map program, just because bum number one is here and he got here early on. So I think I'm going to do that. Let me figure out where the fuck my link to Firefox is, as I moved a bunch of stuff around in my toolbar. So away we go. Hang on a second. Here we go. Now I have to lean over and frantically scratch my foot. Ow. Oh, what the hell? Something bit me. How festive. I'm gonna pop open this map here. Just a second. Oh, it's telling me to go to Chrome. Okay. So I'll go to Chrome. Yay. Yeah, I know you do. Bum number one says, I do like them maps. I know you do. And why not? Let's go on ahead and do that. Incarnate. See, I've been using Firefox with Incarnate because for the longest time it wasn't particularly, Incarnate wasn't particularly stable on God, my brain is just a piece of shit right now. It wasn't particularly stable on Google. So, let's see. I'm loading up this one map that I just barely started, and I'm going to be kind of farting around on that. Let's fit it to the screen. Okay. Let's pop over here and hit this and then do that and stop screwing around. Here we go. Alrighty. Hopefully you guys can see that. Because at one point I had a problem with I had something open and up and people were like, well, we can't see it. So I want to be sure that folks are seeing this. So bum number one, let me know if you can see it because I see it on my end. So it should be fine. Perfect, perfect. So yes, I am actually in the fight of my fucking life right now. And it's confusing to me that somebody would come in and just rain down such malice on a person who has literal cancer. It's, what the hell is wrong with you at that point? I mean, why? It's just very confusing to me. And I know it shouldn't be confusing to me because I see the outright frickin' psychopathy of some of these quote unquote trolls. Well, it's not even quote unquote, they are trolls. They are, and they're idiots. I got to call it as I see it. I'm really fucking tired of watching and listening to people just, and it's not just me. I don't like it when people tear others around either. It just, I mean, it's one thing if somebody has done something really fucking bad. I haven't. I'm not fucking Foodie Beauty or someone. Have you heard about that? Have you heard about that? That bitch has a cat that's 20 years old. I would have given fucking anything to have Leah live until she was 20 years old. But that bitch is abandoning at the very least this cat, or at the very worst, putting her down, and I can't with that. So, you got people like that running around. Why the fuck are you coming after me? I have done literally nothing to most of you. Well, some of you have been a little mean, but I'm willing to own that. I can be bitch. I can be vicious. I can be nasty. But, at what point is enough enough? At what point do you just kind of, you know, knock it off and, let the person go to war with what's challenging them and do it in peace? Yeah. I'm just trying to stay positive, and stuff like that doesn't really help. I think I'm going to cut off this part on that. This particular map is called Drake Island, and the reason it's called that is because, as you notice, which unless you're fucking blind, I'm sure you would, there's part of the island that looks like the head of a dragon. And I'm not sure what the fuck I'm even going to do with this thing. And as usual, I always have maps that I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this? And right now I'm in the stage of, carving up land and, creating the various land features and geology and geography and so on. And this is something I do to relax too, and this is something that I do to stay positive. And if you can't stand me, what I'm asking you is just, fucking leave me alone. I don't need to be worrying about you. I need to worry about me. And this like, hey, let's come in and fuck her percentage up, hee, aren't we cool? No, if you were like fucking with Christian, we would call you Weens. Because it's not particularly imaginative. It's well, it is what it is. I'm suppose rhetorical you. I suppose that's about the best I can expect from you. And if you're happy and you can look yourself in the mirror after dumping on somebody the way that some of you dump on me, again, rhetorical you, if you're happy with your behavior, then fine. But that's going to come around to bite you in the ass. I'm not so sure I necessarily would call that particular phenomenon karma, but eventually stupid fucking idiotic, you know, negative antisocial behavior does come around. And ain't none of you a CEO, ain't none of you a millionaire. So, I just kind of wonder what you get out of it. I have a server. It's called Soylent Green, and it's the server that is attached to this YouTube channel and my other channel, The Vault. And I threw out a bunch of people out of there today, and it was just kind of a vote of no confidence. There are a lot of fucking people I don't trust anymore. And I know that screenshotting and recording is going to happen. That's just the way of things because of scumbags like some of the people I'm aware of in the quote unquote community. But that doesn't mean that I necessarily am going to buy into that. And, if I know somebody is a problem and they're not going to be there in the first place, and if I decide that I need to, just, make my environment a little bit safer and less likely for that, then I'm going to do it. So I'm looking over here. Look at the window again. That is a brilliant fucking idea. Bum number one, this particular land is supposed to represent something that is found on, and this is for my science fiction game, that is found on a world called Getlantios. And what this is that it's just a landmass that they found, and because of what it looks like, they decide to settle there. But there may be problems there. Oh, that's going to be fun. The reveal on that. And that's a brilliant idea, bum number one, making it look like a spray of fire. And I think what I'm going to do with this little feature down here, let me pull back over to that, like this little land feature down here, I might make that a volcanic area, like something that looks like it has been burned. But yeah, that's what I'm doing with this specific map. And I decided I was going to go with, this parchment, slightly Lord of the Rings type effect, although probably this is such early days on this one. Ooh, I have an idea. This is such early days on this one that all this is very likely to change. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down even further here and zoom in since I can't see what the fuck I'm doing. And then we go back here and we give him a nose. Because why wouldn't we? No, I don't need it that big. Like, come on, what do you think this is? It's really interesting that it is so damn blurry. It's not like this in Firefox. Let me just kind of neaten that up a bit and make it not quite so blatant. There we go. Alrighty, go over here and zoom out. It's kind of cartoonish looking really, but hey, I like it. I'll peek over here to the chat. Yeah, it seems like I've only got one person watching, and that's fine. Now, this is what I'm gonna do. If I get bullshit, if I get any more negative comments in the side chat, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it up so that only approved people can comment in here. At least for the duration of this next 2 weeks when I'm like moving toward this pretty major surgery. I don't know if you know what a neck dissection is, but it's pretty much what it sounds like. And there's going to be a recovery time for this. It's going to be painful. And I don't have time to worry about people, like dumping negativity and, breeding hate and discontent and trying to fuck up my percentage and every other fucking thing that people have been doing. Again, you see people, my surgery is in 2 weeks. It's on the 2nd of March. So it's coming up close. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my surgery instructions and, the write-up that I need for like stuff that I need to do or get or be or not do. I'm a little irascible right now because, just in case they want me off the cannabis for the surgery, I wanted to be ready for that and not get it postponed. So I'm off all pain medication other than diclofenac and gabapentin at this time. And that's the way it's got to be. Now, once I get done with the surgery, I can turn right back around and just go right back on the cannabis, like do a few pretty solid doses to, like build it up a little bit in my system, and they'll be fine. But right now it's not comfortable. And so I'm going to be a little bit cranky sometimes. And I'm kind of cranky right now. You've got to know that some of the shit that you do, again, rhetorical some of the shit that you do isn't exactly you social. It is entirely possible to just walk the fuck away and leave somebody the fuck alone if you don't like them or don't like what they do. And that's what I'm asking of you. If you got some kind of a problem with me, just hold your fucking peace for a couple of weeks. Because I will bully through this. I will push through this. And I don't need bullying from outside. What I need to bully is this stupid fucking thyroid. Oh, so I'm going to ask my doctor if it's possible to have the procedure recorded. And I do have a Rumble, and I might put it there just for the sake of putting it there. You really probably can't get much better proof than that, or me holding my thyroid in a jar and sticking it on the camera. I hope you got a strong stomach. Because at the very least, I'm going to describe exactly what they did to me, and I'm going to show you my scars. There is something really, really obnoxious about refusing to believe. I mean, how long has it been since I've asked you guys for, I've asked for like little donations and shit like that for fucking software. I mean, the most recent donation I got was to pay up my yearly, like for this very program for Incarnate. I got a donation and I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and re-up Carnate. It's a whole big fat $25. That's nothing, but it's something to me. It means a lot to me. It helps me to do the things that I do. And, I got a lot of stuff like that. I've got, the whole Creative Cloud thing from Adobe. I've got a couple of other assets that I use. And I'm not going to tell you what assets I use, other than Adobe, because I just don't feel like farming out information to people that don't deserve it. Again, rhetorical you. Those of you that know who you are, that to the point where you can DM me and say, hey, how did you produce this effect, or hey, what do you use to blend this, or what do you use to do that? I'm not putting up a lot of stuff like that right now, again because of stress, but also because I want to be sure that I have something that I can be really proud of, and just going ahead and put it up there. And I'm noticing that there is a progression in my production values, but I don't want to toddle through every single baby step. I want to just dump an EAS on your head, and it might be a doozy, or either that or a creepypasta, because I've got a couple of really nice video loops that I could use and some background music I can put under my voice as I read these things. I'm not going to be all Reddit channel and just use any of the automated voices to read stuff out, because that's dumb. My voice is dynamic enough to where I will be able to just use that, because shit, I'm going to portray the president on the major EAS that are almost going to be like little mini movies. The yes bum number one, the EAS is all going to be put up here. Oh, wait, I have something I have something I want to show everybody. This is dumb. Let me make sure this is the right one. That's the wrong one. Yeah, I don't need that one. I need this other one. Bear with me. Bear with me. Please just bear with me. Ah, here it is. Here it is. Now this is fucking stupid. This is absolutely of no consequence whatsoever. Let me bring that up here. Pardon me while I whip this out. Alrighty. Let's do that. And this is just for a little easy peasy thing that I was going to do for fun. This specific one. And I'll only put it up there for a couple of seconds because, as I said, it's not particularly interesting. All right. Here we go. This looks like nothing, and in some ways it is. But what this represents is me kind of busting my ass and learning all this shit on my own. I had to dig up that font that you see there, which is really, really close to the one that actual EAS uses. I had no idea how to make a blinking GIF like this one. What this is eventually going to have is all kinds of neat stuff at the bottom. I'm going to start this over. No, I'm not. Eventually, this is going to have all kinds of neat stuff at the bottom, and like what, my brain just took a big dump. That's exactly what that is exactly what it is supposed to look like. Exactly what it is supposed to look like. And what this is, what this does, what this function is, it's a place where, like the red bar at the bottom, you're going to see a crawl going across, like this is an activation of the emergency alert system for blah 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 blah. And the larger blue field that you saw in the center there is going to have a scroll where it's scrolling what I'm saying, it's going to look a lot like an emergency alert system screen. And the technology that they use isn't really that terribly advanced because it needs to go up fast and it doesn't need a whole bunch of bells and whistles and other bullshit. It's supposed to be a little jarring and unpleasant and harsh on the eyes, just the same way that the same tone happens to be. Give me just a second. Let me do something here. Alrighty. Going ahead and do this. Let me get in here to what I'm supposed to be doing. Where's the fucking backgrounds folder? There it is. What the fuck is a folder? I got stuff like this. Turn your headsets down, my darlings. I got the real shit here. So, like, dude, you don't see what's going on back in the back of the house here. I've got a lot of good stuff that is in the works. It's not like I'm just sitting here going, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do EAS and then not do it." You are going to get to see it. What that is the cell phone alert. It just happened to be the first one that I saw in my backgrounds folder. I got this little folder that's got all the assets that I use, like the various video clips that are going to be coming up there, and different sound effects and stuff like. Oh wait, I have a good one. Let me pop up here. Pardon me while I whip this out. Let's get in here. Give me just a second. I'll give that a shot. Here's another fun one. Sounds like something getting the living shit bombed out of it, doesn't it? I've got a shit metric ton of stuff like this that I have the rights to use. And that took a lot of digging around and work to get there. EAS videos, they may seem simple. They're not. Now, I'm not talking about somebody like Diamond Legends or the almighty, Final Minutes, these big dog EAS creators. They've got access to a whole lot more shit than I do. And their work is fucking amazing. Hi, Diamond Legends. You are like goals for me. And, of course, the Final Minutes, Matt Yarnold, oh my God. From way the hell back, he's been doing EAS stuff. And no, I didn't dox him because he himself puts his name out there. He doesn't have any problem being public about it. Much like me, I'm Samantha Nocera. Buy my fucking work. Let's see what we've got in chat. That's pretty fucking hilarious. But yeah, I've got like all kinds of siren effects and explosion effects and chaos and fire and I'm in the process of sifting through sounds of people crying. My EAS is going to have a big fat streak of horror all the way down its back. And that's not even talking about the creepypasta stuff that I do. So, I am never going to be able to monetize, and I'm fine with it. I don't want to be beholden to YouTube, especially with the new censorship that they're doing. There's going to be some of my stuff that's going to have to go on Rumble. Because if I start talking about, the after effects of a pyroclastic surge or what, acute radiation illness really looks like, your hair will fall out and your skin will slide off. To quote a character from the movie The Divide, that movie sucked, but there were a couple of good places in it. So I got a lot to do here. And that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to stream at least a little bit every night, but I am also going to be working on this because I think it would be really, really fun to be recovering from getting my thyroid cut out and physically be in the hospital with my husband at my side and then hit, you know, like set it up and fire it away and be sitting there in the premiere with, the first EAS I do. It might not be that much to start, but goddamn, I know I can write, and I know I have some really chilling ideas, and I know I can be very disturbing because people have told me I'm very disturbing. I've had a few people be like, man, I can't read this, and it's not because it's badly written. It's, I really don't want to know what smallpox looks like. Um, no, no, no. It's probably more like Boston. Jesus. Hair falls out and your skin slides off. Yeah. Yeah. Well, acute radiation illness is disgusting. Disgusting. If you don't believe me, look up the Tokai Mura accident and look up Hisashi Uchi. Um, oh, I want to check that out. That sounds like some prime ass death metal to me. I want to check that out, but I have to be careful to only use things that I've got the rights to. And Ace Vendetta, oh, people will know. People will know. And I might start that stream out. Wait, I can't do that. It would immediately get shot down by YouTube. I was talking about maybe the background visual for like the countdown part of the stream. Maybe the background have the countdown be in an alpha channel and the background be my surgical scar. It just does my head in that people are like, oh well, you're faking it. That's not real. No, it's real. Jesus Christ. Yes, I know there are a lot of people that bullshit. I mean, again, talk about shitty people. You've got Shanny for Christ out there saying that she's got breast cancer, when what she's probably got is some kind of yeast infection under her breasts because she doesn't wash. Um, you got people like that, and people are going to come at me talking about, oh, well, you're just, you're making that up. That's not real. And as I said, well, actually, I don't even know if I said this straight out, but I'm going to say it now. Those of you who are doing this, I really, really hope that the people in your life treat you with the same kindness that you have treated me. Oh God, yes. I mean, she is so repugnant. She's, and I'm not going to go at her for her weight because I'm fat too. I'm working on being not fat, but I'm a big girl too. I just kind of, man, I hope it hasn't gone anywhere, because if it does, then I go into chemotherapy, and chemotherapy doesn't just make me lose weight, it makes me lose my hair, at which point I would have to shave my head and all the rest of this yakety schmack, but that's not the way I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight naturally. I don't want to have to think about, the damage that's being done to my body. So yeah, I'm not going to lose my hair because I don't think I'm going to need chemo. That is my will that I put out to the universe. Now, medullary thyroid cancers definitely can, spread a little faster than the much, much more common papillary. For all I know, they said points to medullary. It could still be papillary, and that's the outcome I'm actually hoping for. Because papillary cancer, of all the cancers, that one is just that is almost like cancer light. And that's the outcome I'm hoping for, because I want to put this in the rear view. I want to get this taken care of in 3 weeks and do whatever I have to do to, recover from this, as I said, pretty major surgery, and then just go forward. My only big worry, sometimes if you have any surgery on your neck and especially if it's coming in from the front, sometimes it can fuck your vocal cords up, and they did that to me. But now, because of certain friends of mine, I know that that is recoverable. I know my voice is better because I've been having some help with it. I mean, shit, they also turned me on to a damn fine voice coach. I'm not going to start going into like, hard rock solid voice coaching until probably a year from now, because I really need to make sure that my voice is recovered and really recovered. So there's that. Um, Sourdough muffin tits. Tagger! I just saw that. Oh my God. Ew. You're gonna make baby Jesus cry. But yeah, let's see. I got somebody sending me a DM. Yeah, somebody just spoke out and said, downvotes still count as interaction and still help, and they do. But the problem is if your percentage goes too low, then what you're doing gets shown to less people. And I kind of want to avoid that. It's hard enough to start building up. I don't need somebody behind me pissing in my backyard while I'm, trying to get the front of the house looking good. Yeah. Another, these are the people that are law cows. You got Shanny for Christ. You, um, yes, guitar tuner to keep your speaking voice on the proper key can have a profound effect. Yeah, I know. Um, right now I'm actually more worried about just my speech than I am about singing, although I will eventually be singing again. It's just that you guys don't get to hear it. Well, Dagger would. Bum number one would. A couple of other people would. Hmm. But I want to say that there are a lot of you that just, you don't deserve it. And I know that my voice is going to come back. I know that for a drop dead fact. I just have to make, I have an extremely good uh, endocrine surgeon. God, I'm just dropping words today. I'm just so stressed the hell out. This is so many balls to keep in the air. It really is the administrivia that's driving me up a fucking wall. I can't sleep in. They start calling me about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thankful that they do because that gets things moving along. But it's kind of a disruption to the rest of the stuff that I do, to like constant phone calls. It's verging into kind of annoying at times. And then half the time it's like, oh, well, I'm calling you to tell you that you need to call this person. I'm like, what is the problem with telling this person to call me? Like, are you guys not talking to each other? We won't even get into how hard it is to get information back and forth from the community into the VA system, because uh, veterans can now, hang on a second. Ow, 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 shit. Oh my God, my back is spasming. Ow. Ow. I didn't ask you to do that. Ow. Wait just a second. Whew, that hurt. Fuck. Yeah, it was at this juncture that she decided that she was going to, yes, Dagger, gonna lose your hair to the stress quicker than cancer ever could. Yeah, I'm just popping some Aleve just to get ahead of it. I was going to get up and go get my diclofenac, but I don't know if it's at the level of diclofenac yet. And one cool thing that you might not know, an occasional change of a pain reliever actually can make whatever it is that you change to work a little bit better because your body gets habituated. So, occasionally I'll go back and forth between like diclofenac and naproxen, or occasionally Tylenol, though I try to avoid Tylenol. I've got some issues in my liver. So I've got stuff that I can do here. I can white knuckle it for 2 weeks. I will make it. I'll tell you what, once I walk out of those hospital doors, what's going to be in my hand is going to be papers. There are not going to be any little baggies with medications unless it's like, a prophylactically applied antibiotic or something like that. Obviously the higher dose of levothyroxine that I'm going to be on for the rest of my life. I have to have this sitting right on my keyboard because I have to take it as I get up, like half an hour before I even able to eat anything. And I my brain can be like a sieve sometimes, especially when I'm in the situation I'm in. So I keep it like sitting right on my keyboard to remind me to take it when I first get up in the morning. Because I need this shit to work. I need to, yeah, it doesn't it? Diclofenac. Um, it's not particularly good for your stomach, but it is they often give it for things like reducing fever, moderate to severe pain, inflammation, stuff like that. And that's all shit that I have in my shoulder. So I have it for that, but my doctor's cleared me to up the dose a little bit, like post-surgery if it becomes necessary. I don't want any opioids. I'm not going to be walking out with any candy. And bum number one asks, do you like any game other than No Man's Sky? No Man's Sky is the only house in which I live. I have too much going on, between writing and every other fucking thing to really dump a lot of time into video games. I used to be big into the Civilization series. There are a few other ones. Back in the day, I used to play the living shit out of Spore. It's the exploration and building and things like that. Those type of games are where my heart rests. But I can only really afford to dump time on but one game, and that one's the pick of the litter for me. It's like Hello Games sat down and had a board meeting and said, hey, there's this bitch named Samantha. Let's make a video game specifically for her because it's got everything I want and not very many things that I don't. And I dig it. And it's gorgeous. I wonder if I could get that fired up and share a little bit of that. Now I'm just going to go back into the maps. MIP. That's what people want. They want MIPs. And maps you shall have. Alrighty, off to incarnate again. Here we go. So yeah, it's really kind of, I don't need help stressing out or having bad shit happen to me. And I really, really, again, there are a lot worse lol cows out there than, I need to look at that much, much closer to do this. There are like much, much worse lol cows out there. Frankly, I'm not a lol cow. You can call me one all you want, but I know. I've had people that are very much into, for lack of a better word, lol cow culture, that have like come out and said, yeah, no, that doesn't really seem to. Why the fuck is this doing this? I want water there, damn it. It's because I have the coastlines too big, I think. Okay. Just a second. What color do we have on that? Pardon me. I'm just having a hard time here. Let's see if I put that stroke down to 0. What does that look like? It looks like that, and that's not what I want. That's better. Okay, yeah, that was a little frustrating. I just couldn't get quite the effect that I wanted there. But yeah, you always have to kind of fuck with stuff like this to make it appear a little bit more like a natural feature, like kind of ruffle up the edges a little bit. And so what I'm doing is that. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. It looks not quite like what I want. There we go. I don't think I noticed how unwell certain parts of certain communities really are until all this started happening. Um, Give me just a second. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go in a minute because there's something I want to do that probably doesn't involve putting up with bullshit right now. Not that you guys are being bullshit. Um, I'll put that out there. Dagger says that Yakuza Kiwami is a good game. Okay. No Man's Sky has story to it too, and a lot of it is really really sad. It's beautiful. Of course, I might be biased. See, what I'm trying to do is get something that kind of looks like a pupil, but at the same time, that should be disconnected up there, I think. And at the same time, isn't that's way too? No, it's only two. What the fuck? What are you doing, cat? Oh, all I hear is crunch, scrumple, thud. By the way, scrumpling is anything that the cat is doing that you don't want her to do. And right now she was scratching on something, but it's not something important. It's just a cardboard box that I had a thing that came in. Uh, a couple of cardboard boxes coming soon. One of the things my husband did was get me this really badass charcoal grill, and this is turning into a soup sandwich, and I don't think I want to do it this way. Yeah, that's kind of dorky. Let's get rid of it. Bye. Bye. I'm getting rid of its nose too. Oh shit. Let's just keep it as a natural landmass and not make it look like quite like what it is, which is not a natural landmass. Oh, did I spoil something? I think I did. But bum number one, I am absolutely using your delta idea because this whole area here just really lends itself to a huge delta. And right here, the little island here, that's a pretty good like coastal feature. And I'm gonna park me a big volcano right here. There's the dragon's breath, right? But to continue, I've got stuff. I've got lots of stuff that I would like to do, and so what I'm gonna do here is, hey, Lokina, um, you need to turn your bell icon, dude. Either that or it's damn broken. Because there are a lot of people that don't get alerts when I start streaming. And it's probably because of the material that I do. And that's another reason why I'm slightly concerned about my percentage. Did you hear that? I bonked myself right in the tooth with this metal cup. Ow, fuck. Man, I just got all kinds of problems tonight. Like, an example of the problems tonight. I was taking a nap, and all of a sudden I hear something that sounds a little bit like this. Let's see if I can do this without a disaster. All of a sudden I hear this. What that sound is, what that sound is it was a certain little 6-month-old kitten. Well, she's five. I don't know. She's 5.5, 6. I'd have to look at the actual calendar. This little adolescent kitten-faced kitten of mine knocking over a box of bells. You would not believe how goddamn many bells I actually have. But yes, so I'm going to go on ahead and call it here because I got shit I want to do. Yeah. Expect to stream pretty much every night. A lot of the time I'm going to be doing stuff like the mapping and possibly even in the process in Photoshop that of creating screens and things like that. Oh wait, I can show you a couple of those before I go. Do I want to do it that way or do I want to do it this way? I know what I'm going to do. Again, pardon me while I whip this out. Let's find this gentleman here. Actually, I'm just going to go on ahead and I don't want to open it with that, though. I don't want to open it with that, though. No. I want to open this bitch with Photoshop. Give me just a second. Photoshop takes 18 years to fucking come up because it's huge. I also need to do a little bit of housekeeping on this machine too, so it's a little bit slow right now. There we go. You know, stuff like this. I want to show you guys. Let me pull this up. And something just went blur right in my ear and scared the shit out of me. Don't mind me, I have a problem tonight. Yeah, stuff like this. This is a disclaimer that you see ahead of a lot of emergency alert system things. And, you know, it's just, you know, kind of CYA. And to wit, it says the scenario uses ballad same tones. You know that that you hear ahead of American emergency alert system stuff? That's what that's talking about. So, you know, if I were you, I wouldn't play it over the radio. And what I've put here is that it uses same tone, like ballad same tones. I warn people not to play it over radio or television, and I warn people about what the results of doing that might be. And I conclude with, I'm not liable if you opt to be a dumbass. Don't do it. See what I mean about not being ever able to get monetized? It's because I can't keep my mouth clean to save my life. Pardon me while I pull all these bells back into the box that they're supposed to be in, because I just kind of tipped it over. No, these are awesome. These big ones that I have. Loud as hell. And I've got bigger ones. I've got more obnoxious ones. I've got ginormous, huge ones. And I've got a line on bells that have little tiger faces on them that will be ready in about a month, and I'm going to grab those. I've struck up a friendship with one of the major people that sells these bells. You know, they're on Etsy. And if you're really nice to me, I might tell you who they are. But a lot of you I wouldn't, because I don't particularly feel like having you like contact him and give him a bunch of shit, because that would freak him out. He doesn't know anything about this shit. The guy's in India. You know, fun fact, that's where a lot of the really, really good bells come from. I love these fucking things. There's a reason I'm Bells of Nevermore. I love bells. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you, if this thing does this one more time, I'm going to cry. So I just wanted to show you that screen, you know, as an example of what's been going on, you know, what I'm doing. Bells with the bells. And you're gross, actually. Yeah, you know, I like that. I like that. A lot of my stuff, it has space abstracts or actual pulls from James Webb or whatever. You know, things that are in the public domain, obviously, because you don't want to like get kicked in the balls with copyright shit. And there have been a lot of EAS people that have gotten bit by that. It didn't used to be so bad, but you know, these days, you know, you use a recording of the wrong person sneezing, they'll copyright you. But yeah, so that's what's been going on in the back of the house here. This don't change ever. We like it that you're a nasty ass motherfucker. I suppose I can give you these last 5 minutes. Yeah, I have a thing I need to do, but yeah, I'll give you these last 5 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? Now, I'm quite sure that this one's going to get downvoted all to hell too, but you know, I got an angle with that as well. Yes, knife ear. I'm the pointy-eared prick. And I am, if I was going to pick a fantasy race to be, it would be the one I wrote, the Ashtori. That just keeps getting more and more and more and more complex, and I'm all about it. I fucking love it. So yeah, I do the things. I make the things. I write the things. I thing the things. I don't do those things, Dagger, so stop that. I already heard that go through your head. Naughty thing. But yeah. I got 5 more minutes. I'm wondering. We could spend the next 5 minutes popping up some more sound assets. Let's go back to backgrounds. I don't want to pull same tones on you just right now. Give me just a second. This is not what I want. Why the fuck does it seem like I'm missing some stuff? All right, you've heard that one already. Children. I have misbehaving cats, don't mind me. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry about the long, boring pause in the conversation. I had a whole fucking shit ton of very, very upsetting things. Well, sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go because obviously one of the things that happens to me is it's almost like something gets irritated in there and I can tell I'm gonna lose my voice. God, that's annoying. So I'm gonna go on ahead and peace out right now. Yeah, you need to I want to hear your music, but I'm gonna have to jet before I completely lose my voice. Remember, always remember, the only time you should be looking down on someone is when you're giving them a hand up. Remember this also, don't step in anything soft. And remember this also, eventually the way you treat others will come back to roost like ravens in your trees. And the ravens can either be your friends or they can be the eyes of Odin looking down upon you. And trust me, you don't want to make the far wanderer mad. All right, take care. Don't step in anything soft. And if you do, leave your goddamn poop shoes outside the door. Bye. Oh, yes, and don't summon anything bigger than your head. Look, Hina. Yes, I will try to avoid that, but I'm probably going to be summoning something bigger than my head because I'm about to go in there and feed the cats. Take care, everybody. Good night.